Well, we're going west, and we made our last video in the Grand Canyon, and the next day left the Grand Canyon of Arizona and headed west. Did our best to stay as far away from Las Vegas as we could. Unfortunately, it seems that all the highways out there go to Vegas. We got around Vegas and continued west and ran into the Sierra Nevada. And from the Sierra Nevada here at Convict Lake, we thought we'd make our next video.
So if you recall, we're pivoting from a trip to Israel to this new trip, and we thought that the daily devotionals that were written last week by the pastor would be great to talk about this week. So again, we're still in John 4. This is 46 through 50. So he came again to Cana in Galilee, where he had made the water wine. And at Capernaum there was an official whose son was ill. When this man heard that Jesus had come from Judea to Galilee, he went to him and asked him to come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. So Jesus said to him, "Unless you see signs and wonders, you will not believe." The official said to him, "Sir, come down before my child dies." Jesus said to him, "Go, your son will live." The man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him and went on his way.
So last week, after kind of pondering on those verses and imagining the situation that was going on there in the little village of Cana, these are the thoughts that I had that morning. They were excited about what they had seen. News had traveled with recent pilgrims returning from Jerusalem, telling stories of incredible things that they had seen. And then now the one who had performed those things in Jerusalem was with them in Cana. One unnamed individual in the group had traveled over 40 miles to see him in Cana. This man was not there due to the excitement over Jesus' visit. He was there out of complete desperation. With all his resources proving impotent to solve the medical crisis in his home, he turns to what is probably his last hope of keeping his child alive. John records Jesus' words, not to the man specifically, as our English version leads us to believe, but to the entire crowd. You see, the you in verse 48 that's used twice is plural. We in Texas use this grammatical construction regularly with the term y'all. Jesus is addressing an excited crowd who is enthused by what they had seen and what others had seen. These, like most, only believe what they see, what they can experience with their senses. But see, this is not faith. Faith is believing what we are told, not what we see, which is exactly what this desperate father does. Hearing what Jesus tells him, he believes. What else could he do? He's come all this way. He has exhausted all other options. He has nothing and no one else to turn to. All is lost. All is without hope unless Jesus somehow intervenes. From such despair, faith is often not a very long step. It's a short step when we're that desperate. For those who will not believe unless they see, faith is a step too far. But it is in this place of desperation that we all have to come. You see, exhausted of all of our goodness, our goodwill, our good deeds, our good things, we have nowhere else to turn but to Jesus and believe his words to us. Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God." What he's saying are sometimes, blessed are the desperate who look to me, they will see the unseen. This is faith. Excitement is believing what we see. Faith is believing what we cannot see. It is this faith that transformed the Samaritan city. It was this faith that leads this nobleman to believe without another word or action on the part of Jesus or himself. How we believe is by faith and not sight. This act gives us eyes into the spiritual world we live in but never experience. We won't believe unless we see, we say. Well, really, we won't see unless we believe. And as soon as we believe, we see and experience what we could have never seen otherwise, the kingdom of God, which is really a whole other topic. How we believe is without sight. When we believe, we'll talk about next time. Thank you.